Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist, coming to you live. And welcome to Ron's Recap. I'm here today to recap and review the TV show RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 15, Episode 4, titled Supersized Snatch Game on MTV. MTV. Let's talk again. We talked about this last week, but I don't think you guys are understanding the fans or like the viewers. Okay, I'm gonna clear my throat before I get into this one. MTV. Why in the hell are y'all splitting the episode of RuPaul's Drag Race that you now cut from an hour and a half to an hour to then show another TV show after the fact that has nothing to do with Drag Race? That's an hour long after the fact, and then show the RuPaul's Untucked episode for 30 minutes after another TV show. Really? MTV? Let's get this together. Like, come on now. Please listen to the viewers. Listen to the fans. Like, again, as I said last week, nothing was wrong with the show. Nothing was wrong with the format of the show previously. It was nothing wrong with the format previously. But it's like, there's so much going on in this show with 16 contestants. There was a Snatch game this week with 14 girls. 14 girls, which is the biggest Snatch game that there has been. There's so much information that you guys are cutting out. So much, like, content that the viewers would like to see. And we just feel robbed at this point. And I don't understand why you guys are not trying to figure that out. That whole Real Friends of WoHo, Soho, nobody is for it. Now, the show probably would have had a better chance had you aired it after Drag Race. Give Drag Race its 2-hour slot, please. Let the episode be an hour and 30 minutes with the 30-minute untucked after the fact. Then show the show. If you need to show the show, that Real Friends of Soho, like at a specific time, then make Drag Race come on at 7 o'clock or something. 7:30. Just to get it in there a little sooner. Like, I'm so disappointed in MTV. MTV, I've never had a problem with you before. And technically, I still don't. But I'm upset with you guys right now. I'm not happy. And we're feeling robbed. We want it back. The original format. We want the original format back. And honestly, you're robbing another show of just getting an opportunity to flourish because you're robbing another show for it. That Real Friends of Soho, like a WeHo, I don't know, but it doesn't last a chance with you interfering with Drag Race like you're doing. It doesn't last a chance. I'm almost certain of that. Look at the comments. Look at the reviews. Look at the tweets. Go back to the original format, please, and thank you. Okay, now let's get into the episode. That kind of, I had to get that one off my chest, but that is kind of irritating. But okay, again, let's get into the episode. So the episode started with the girls congratulating / being surprised and shading Amethyst for surviving another week. You know, she's still in the competition, and they're like, yeah, we're surprised that you're still here. Just as she was surprised that she's still here, you know, with sending home Princess Poppy in the lip sync. On the contrary, they congratulated Sasha Colby on her win of the week. So kudos to Sasha Colby. Next was, you know, in the midst of that conversation, kind of robbing Sasha Colby of her, you know, congrats. Like, oh, I made second place. Like, she took it upon herself to claim she was in the top 2 in I love Lux, Nora London, but girl, Lux, you were not top two. I love you, but Lucy LaDuca name was called first before your name was called. If we're gonna technically go into numbers, Lucy LaDuca her name was called first before your name was called. I'm gonna say that again. Lucy LaDuca's name was called first before your name was called. I just want to put that out there. Even though there's no order, even though there's no order in it, her name was called first. I'm just saying. I love you again, Lux. You're one of my faves, but I gotta check you. Like, girl, bring the arrogance down to like a 10 to like a 3. Like, you don't have to like gloat and like try to throw in people's face of a great job you did. Just let the work speak for itself. Like, and if we're being real, Lucy LaDuca's outfit was a bit more fancier than yours. Loved yours too, but it was a bit more fancier. All right. Done dragging you, girl. Just bring it down. I'm done dragging you, girl. Love you, but I had to let you know throughout the episode I was not really feeling the arrogance energy that I've been getting. Okay. Moving on. The next day in the workroom, they shaded Amethyst again. Preferably Mistress Isabel Brooks, like, oh, 3 strikes, you're out. But it was Spice, I believe, the one to like throw the dagger, like, oh, Amethyst, you know what they say, 3 strikes, you're out. And that ain't cute. The girl already probably in her head and feeling bad that she'd been in the bottom 2 twice, and knowing that she probably shouldn't be here, or at least that it was that small chance of her being here, it could have been the opposite direction. And I already done shaded her, like, y'all leave the girl alone. And I'm just like, come on now. Come on now. So, shortly after that, Rue came in the workroom looking like he just walked off of a red carpet, cape and all, feathers, with this, suit, black, red, and white, I believe, like stripes going down. Looks lovely. And he announced this week's challenge, which is the Snatch Game Supersized edition, which would contain 14 girls, which is the most girls ever to be in a Snatch Game. And if you don't know what Snatch Game is, to my viewers, Snatch Game is like a comedic impersonation of celebrities. A comedic impersonation of celebrities. Each queen are impersonating a celebrity or celebrities, and they usually do that around like the top 8, anywhere from like the top 8 to like the top 6. So it's enough girls and enough people to like, chime in on each other and like roast or whatever the case may be. But 14 girls, Ru split it up from 14. He split it up to 2 groups, making it 7 and 7, which is typically would be an ideal number in originally, like in its original context, it would be about 7 girls, like I just said, from like 8 to 6. But so we split it up and to 7 to 7, and I was like, okay, this should be interesting. So off the girls went to prepare for that, and they started to discuss who they were going to portray, strengths and weaknesses, and Jax again then found her moment to like dig at Sugar and Spice about, oh, they're going to be in the same group. That might be a problem. Like, I get that maybe Sugar and Spice can be a little much at times, but they aren't that bad. They're just being themselves. And this is a space, a quote-unquote safe space, spoiler alert, that y'all said in Untucked. So why can they not be themselves? Like, let them be themselves. Let them flourish. Let them just do them. Now, make sure you're also doing you, but let them do them. Let them do them. Just leave people alone. Leave people alone. Okay, so back to the girls with the Snatch Game. Few girls to name, who they were impersonating. Lucy LaDuca will be portraying Joan Rivers. Selena Estides will be portraying Virgin Mary. Aura Mayara will be portraying Brett Rock from YouTube. Had no idea who that was. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox will be portraying Saucy Santana, which I was super excited about. Mistress Isabel Brooks playing Rosie O'Donnell. I was like, okay. That's an interesting perspective. That's an interesting perspective. So I'm like, okay, let's see how they come. How is it going to be? What is it going to give? Kill it. Y'all got a lot of room for that. And then this better be better than last season's, because last season's Snatch Game was the worst in history. So, and there's some more girls. So there should be no reason why people should be not coming with it. So it came down to the challenge. The first group of 7 girls contained Lux Nora London, Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, Mistress, Isabel Brooks, Anitra, Robin Fierce, Selena Estides, and Marsha. To give you a brief summary of the first girls group, the girls that stood out most to me were Mistress Isabel Brooks, who played Rosie O'Donnell, which was funny as hell with that New York accent and the New York flair swag. Hilarious as shit. Virgin Mary / Selena Estides, pregnant. Like, I think she kind of overdid it. But it was still comedic. It wasn't bad. It was still comedic. And Lux Nora London playing Amanda. And I had no idea who Amanda was, by the way, either. But it was interesting. It was entertaining. How she played it. Kind of like a deadpan, dismissive, I don't care type of energy. And it worked. It worked, and she sold it. On to the second group of seven girls. Lucy LaDuca, Sasha Colby, Jax, Sugar, Amethyst, Spice, and Aura Mayora. The ones that stand out in that group was Lucy LaDuca, who I put a star next to. That is the one who I was like laughing at. I was also laughing at Mistress, but I was really, really laughing at Lucy LaDuca playing Joan Rivers. Like, she had a down pat from the face, the structure of the face, and the Botox and the surgeries, and she was just funny as hell, chiming in and roasting other people, and like, it was just crazy as hell and entertaining. Also, Amethyst playing a tan mom, and surprisingly, she did well. I actually like her. I'm not going to say surprisingly. I actually like Amethyst, but I think other people weren't really anticipating her to do well. A little bit of me too, but I still have faith in her, though. I'm going to say that, when others seem to not have faith in her. And then lastly, another person that stood out was like Spice playing Miley Cyrus, which was meh. Stood out, but not in a good way. Her and Sugar both stood out, but both of their characters were meh, And her and Sugar kind of like did a whole lot. That was a moment where they needed to tone her down. Y'all doing a whole lot, and you overshadowed. And it didn't really work in your advantage. So the next day, elimination day, and them in the workroom, the girls are prepping, and they're bonding over conversation, of course, referring to like past experiences about, being gay and being raised and coming up and coming out as gay. And Lucy LaDuca, her story was a bit touching. To me. Was a bit touching. Lucy LaDuca, she spoke about being bullied and turning her pain into humor as a defense mechanism. Being bullied, and to the point where she wasn't even out, and she was kind of scorned for being gay when she wasn't out. And I can relate to that. She said she just loved crop tops and maybe like skinny jeans, and she was scorned for that by students, and teachers even chimed into it. I can also relate to that too, more so in middle school. Like, I definitely felt like some teachers like threw daggers at me in the midst of students, for sure. Was bullied and turned that into pain. She turned that pain into humor as a defense mechanism, and she turned it into comedy, a comedy career within drag, and you can only be proud of that. Like, she turned a negative into a positive, which has got her soaring on the show and using it to her advantage. And I'm proud of her for that. She also made a point that, that's how she found her voice, through comedy. And again, round of applause to Lucy LaDuca. Round of applause to her. Okay, so after that short little workroom scene, MTV. That short little workroom scene, you know, it's time for the runway. And the runways are so short now, like the girls literally maybe do about 3-4 steps out. You might see them go this way, you might see them go that way, and off they go. The runway time, it was time for RuPaul to grace us with the stage, grace us on the stage, and she had on a black and silver dress with like feathers poking out of it, and real big red curly hair, which I loved. She announced the theme of the runway, which was Beautiful Nightmare. The standouts to me, I'm going to always do that. I did that originally, but I'm always going to do that. I'm not going to always review each contestant because some stand out more than others. But the moment I figure out how to start attaching clips to my videos, such as their looks, without copyright, it's coming. It's coming. But the standouts. Lux Noir London, she had like this zombie bride tied up with like a brick tied to her ankle. She said her husband killed her or something and threw her in the ocean, and she had blood, and she was gray, and she looked like a dead body. I liked it. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, which I put 3 stars next to her name because I don't think she gets enough credit. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, her looks be hidden. Like, she has not gave us one bad look. She's not giving us one bad look, and that look that she gave with this periwinkle colored gown with a mixture of blue, baby blue and purple rhinestones at the top with a lavender colored hair and big wing feathers in the back of her. And that shit was stunning. It was stunning. And I'm just like, girl, Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, that was gorgeous. That was probably my most favorite look. Let me see. 1 out of 2 of my favorite looks, but I would still say that was probably my most favorite look it was my most favorite look of the night. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, spoiler alert, get out of your head, girl. You're doing great. Yes, you haven't landed in the top yet, but you're doing great. Get out of your head, girl. Do not do that to yourself. Do not sabotage yourself. You're doing great. Okay, so next up that I felt stood out, Anitra. She had this black and red gown, like fitted on her, with red hair, red heels, and like spider-like fingers. Cute. Selena Aristides coming into the scene onto the floor, screaming, titties. Screaming, zombie titties. Correction, zombie titties. And she had them in her mouth, wearing a leather, like, patch dress of brown color with red blood on her mouth. Like, zombies. Then Tasha Colby had this sheer nude and black dress, giving witch with broom on her ankles. It was like a fabric on her ankles. On a gown, there's like fabric on the ankles, like that poof or gives an illusion around the ankles. You guys know what I'm talking about? That was kind of like a broom type of fabric or material, like, in the sheer and black gown. And she had like great makeup and like a headpiece too, black headpiece. Nice. Jax, I didn't even write much. I just wrote meh. All I gotta say is meh. It stood out, but not in a good way. I don't even remember it. That's how I'm like, Jax, come a little harder. I was so impressed with her week 1 or week 2, whatever, episode 2, but it's not doing a whole lot for me right now, Jax. It's not. Next that stood out was Sugar. She really knows how to put pink. She knows how to wear pink. She wore this pink and blue dress with like pink and blue striped stockings and pink heels, and like she really does give the illusion of sugar. She gives the illusion of sugar for sure. And my second favorite, Amethyst. She did a Gaga remake outfit with like white. It was a one piece, but it looked like a 2-piece in the front, but it was a 1 piece altogether. Like in the back, it was a 1 piece, but in the front, it was like stopped here, and it was like bottoms to the white attire. And she had white boots and with like pink hair, white and pink hair. But the gag was she had blood gushing from the top, like under her top to her pants. I mean, to her bottoms and over her body, and it was iconic. It was definitely a Gaga remake, and I was like, shit. You know, that's another thing about Emma Stess. I got to say about her, in spite of her performance being lackluster sometimes, or I guess the previous weeks, the looks she's given us have not been bad. I'm going to say that again. In spite of Emma Stess's performances being lackluster in the previous weeks, the looks that Emma Stess has given us on that runway have not been bad. I've seen one look that has been bad. Not one. So Emma Stess, I am proud of you for that. You gave us an iconic look, and that's it. That's all. She stepped her cookies up this week for sure. Proud of her. On to the results after that. Lux, Malaysia. Lux Norlande, Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, Anitra, Robin Fierce, Selena Estides, Sasha Kobe, Jax, and Emma Stess were all safe. I was happy to hear Emma Stess was safe. It would have been a killer if Emma Stess was in the top. That would have been the gag. Okay, that left Marsha, Isabel, Lucy LaDuca, Sugar, and Spice, and Aura to get feedback. Marsha, you know, her outfit was okay, the judges said. Makeup could have been better. They see she put on more makeup. Even she stepped it up from last week. She put on more makeup last week, but she put on more makeup this week as well, even more. And they still want her to get more drag with it. As Ruth said, you gotta step your drag up. Now let's not get it twisted. Marsha's drag is nice. It's cute. It works for her, considering that she's portraying or like, you know, giving the aesthetic of Marsha from the Brady Bunch. So she's not losing that of her. It's just that they are wanting to see her get way, way more into the drag. Way, way more. And if you know drag makeup and you've seen drag makeup, you know it can get drastic. It can get out there. Okay, so the next up was Isabel Brooks. You know, they gave her praise on her makeup, preferably the female judges, preferably the female judge, Michelle. You know, she loved her makeup and her Snatch Game Rosie. They all praised her for that Snatch Game Rosie, and again, definitely I agree. Lucy LaDuca, they loved her Joan Rivers Snatch Game, and they loved her look. Totally agree on both. Sugar, they felt her Snatch Game could have been stronger, but they didn't say too much about her look, at least that we saw on TV. Shade. Spice, they felt her Snatch Game was very lackluster, and they didn't really say much about her look either. And maybe they did, and again, we just didn't see it. And lastly, Aura Mayar. They loved her look reveal because she got on a black gown in the front, but like in the back, it showed like ribs and bones of a spine and blood. They loved her look reveal, but for her Snatch Game, lacked as well. So, you know, that resulted into Marsha being safe, Mistress being safe, and Lucy LaDuca won this week's challenge. Proud of Lucy LaDuca. Now, 1 week, she landed in the bottom 3. That was the scare she needed to like really push her. And sure enough, she is showing up and showing the fuck out, and I am here for it. She has showed up like she's been in the top ever since. Ever since that week, she's been like showing growth. Like she's showing like she said, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm going to show you that I deserve to be here. That you will not regret putting me on this fucking show, and she is showing that. And I like that. So, again, I guess the top 3 was Marsha, Mistress, with the winner being Lucy LaDuca. The bottom 3 resulted into Sugar, Spice, and Aura Mayara. Although, Aura was the one to be safe out of the bottom 3. That left Sugar and Spice to lip sync against each other. The twin duo is now about to be split. And that was super disappointing. They both played off of each other in a lip sync. They choreographed their lip sync somehow, and it was entertaining. But Spice was chosen to stay ultimately, sending Sugar home. And sad to watch Sugar walk away because Sugar was sweet. Literally, she was sweet. She was a sweet girl. You could see that they literally are Sugar and Spice. Sweet girl. And it was unfortunate that they had to lip sync on episode 4 and against each other. That was super unfortunate. So on to the Untucked episode. And I wrote a lot about that because they were tapping on stuff that I really want to, get into. Malaysia, Baby Doll Fox. Again, girl, you let the competition get to you. Just because you are not in the top. Just because you're not in the top does not mean you're not doing well. Malaysia, you know the shit that you're bringing to the table. And you know the purpose of why you're bringing this to the table because we've heard you say it, and I feel you off rip, Malaysia. I feel the fact that, you got a lot riding on you. You have people rooting for you in the back of you. You have a purpose of why you're in this competition and not just to win $200,000. Therefore, we know you want to do good and you're doing good. Yes, other girls are doing better, but you're doing good. So don't feel like you're not. Step your cookies up and get to the top because I know you can do it, Malaysia Baby Doll Fox. Period. She played again, Saucy Santana, her impersonation. And yes, it could have came harder, but again, like I said, she served a good look. So on to Mistress. Mistress, she was coming for Marsha, calling her look cheap, but then she wanted to retract that. So far I kind of got like a little love-hate with Mistress Isabel Brooks. I like her, and I can say I like some of her drag, but she is one shady son of a bee. She is one shady bitch. I'm going to say that. I'm just saying it flat out. She's one shady bitch. And it's kind of getting to the point where she's probably going to be the villain of the show, the villain of the season. We'll see. But, because that girl looked cheap. It was uncalled for. And yes, Marsha can improve on her makeup, but it never came off cheap. It just light. It was just light. Come on now. Then on to Sugar and Spice. And I find them so entertaining. Yeah, their drag might not be super, super strong as far as performing wise, but they gonna serve you a fucking look, and they are so entertaining performing wise. I would say they're not gonna give you a Sasha Colby number if I'm gonna compare. They're not gonna give you that, but they are gonna give you a cute two step. They're gonna serve you a look, and they have so much personality to dish. So for that reason, I like them. I was just shocked that they were going to be in the bottom 2 together, and they knew it before it was even announced that they were going to be in the bottom 2 together. And they were to that point where they were like, oh, if one go, we both go. They think they're going to do that, and they were kind of set on that, and they were pretty much in that head state, and that was unfortunate because you guys are both there individually. Even though you guys came in there together, you guys are both there individually. So don't feel like, okay, my sister is going, my support system is gone, I gotta go. Do it for your sister. Because you guys know that you clearly, what you guys have been saying in the episode, or in this Untucked, spoiler alert before I get to it, is that pretty much you guys are each other's backbone. You guys are such a strong support system for each other. So why eliminate yourself solely on the fact that your sister, your counterpart, is eliminated? That should fire you to really want to win it, so that you and your sister can really flourish outside of this competition with it. I'm just saying. But they ultimately had a conversation, and they opened up in the Untucked about their parents, their relationship with their parents. How their parents really don't accept a lot of things they do, starting with drag. I guess their parents are shameful of them, shameful and embarrassed. And the thing that got me was the fact that Sugar said that their parents don't even know that they're on that show. And that's all due to fear and judgment. And that really, really struck me. I can't even lie to you. Like, that struck the living hell out of me. Because I'm like, that goes to show that they don't really talk to their parents that much. Because if it's like a whole month or two that they're going to film this show and your parents haven't checked up on you or they haven't asked questions or anything, that's upsetting. Like, they don't even know that they're on a show because fear of judgment and disappointment. And that's so unfortunate because I'm like, that really showed depth of they don't have that relationship to open up to their parents. And I wouldn't say that their parents don't give a care about them. They don't care about them, but it sounds like their parents is very dismissive of them. And that's not okay. No child should feel like that. Even as an adult, you shouldn't feel like dismissed by your parents or that you can't even talk to your parents because of who you are and the things that you enjoy doing and the things that's comforting to your spirit and soul. That's so unfortunate. And that really like struck me because I'm like, damn, that's saddening. But ultimately that matter made them open up to the girls and it made it a bonding moment that made it relatable for Sasha. Sasha kind of then chimed in on that with them and she felt it. And again, Sasha also kind of convinced them, like, stay in this competition. If one of you guys got to go home, stay in this competition for the other. And ultimately, they end up doing that. They end up staying as Sugar was eliminated. Spice staying, but it looks like next week she's going to be pissed about, that the matter that she's gone and she's not doing this by herself. So, Spice, best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. I like you, girl. I want to see you go far. You got a lot riding on you as well. That's all I got for you guys this week. Until next time, guys. Until next time. MTV, get your shit together. Get your shit together. Get your shit together. Please and thank you. Peace.